and privilege to render my heartiest welcome to our chief guest, Professor Sir Tom Blundell, University of Cambridge, United Kingdom. Guest of honor, Professor Francois Franceschi. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. P. Prakash. Respected Registrar, Dr. Manish Bhalla. Professor V. Samuel Raj, Dean Academic Affairs and Organizing Secretary of this conference. Our esteemed international and national delegates, deans of various departments, head of the department, my dear fellow faculties, participants, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear students. As we come to the valedictory function, I now take this opportunity to invite our chief guest, Professor Tom Blundell, guest of honor, Professor Francois Franceschi, Dr. P. Prakash, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Manish Bhalla, Registrar, Professor V. Samuel Raj, Organizing Secretary, to adorn the dais. So please, come here. Okay.
The conference we had aimed to provide a common platform to research communities, policymakers, students, and pharmaceutical industries to exchange experience and challenges related to the development and discovery of reliable and effective AMR drugs and vaccines. The conference witnessed a galaxy of eminent scientists, scholars, and intellects from all around the globe gathered under one roof to discuss the scope and find the solution of existing problems of AMR. Professor Ada Yonuth, the Nobel laureate in chemistry 2009, inaugurated the conference and highlighted the problems of upsurge of antibiotic resistance and emphasized the need of research institutions along with pharmaceutical companies to take initiative to combat this global issue on AMR. A host of eminent scientists, including Padma Bhushan, Professor G.P. Talwar, Professor Simon Croft from London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, United Kingdom, Professor V.M. Katok, the former Director General of Indian Council of Medical Research, Government of India, Professor Rakesh Bhatnagar, the Vice Chancellor of Banaras Hindu University, Professor Srini Kaveri from the French National Center for Scientific Research, Dr. Francois Franceschi, Global Antibiotic Project Leader at the Global Antibiotic Research and Development Partnership, initiated by the Drug for Neglected Disease Initiative with the World Health Organization, Professor Jayakumar Rajadas from Stanford University, Professor Umesh Vashni from the Indian Institute of Science, Professor Wilson Aruni from Loma Linda University, California, and so on, presented their research on AMR on various topics ranging from tuberculosis, anthrax, leprosy, so on and so forth.
I would like to invite Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. P. Prakash, to felicitate Chief Guest of the Day, Professor Sir Tom Blundell, a champion of drug initiatives, representative in AMR, and one of the reputed scientists from University of Cambridge, with a bouquet and shawl as a token of love and gratitude. May I request our Registrar, Dr. Manish Bhala, to felicitate the guest of honor, Professor Francois Franceschi. Now I request Dr. Manish Bhala, Registrar, SRM University, Delhi NCR, Sonipat, to offer the welcome address. Give a huge round of applause.
Good evening. So, the 3 days, this fantastic event of academic research has come to the end. And I, on behalf of SRM University, I give my heartfelt thanks to all the speakers, to chief guest, Professor Ada, Professor Tom Blundell, Professor Simon Kraft, Professor Francescos, and other speakers who have came all across from the world and discussed the problems and their solutions on AMR. Well, this research topic is a very wide topic, and wherein the drug development as well as the development of the vaccines are similarly important in for the humankinds. So the drug development as well as the vaccination will be beneficial for AMR. We have discussed a lot of things, lot of brainstorming sessions on AMR, on various diseases like tuberculosis, like malaria, anthrax, and other similar diseases. And it is a high time to take another step from the part of the SRM University to take it further and move and organize another event of such kind, so that these discussions and brainstorming sessions must go on. And I congratulate Professor Simon Raj, under the leadership of our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. P. Prakash, who has guided us and give us the liberty to work, freedom to work, and explore ourselves so that our university will become globalized. I request our Simon Raj again, and thanks to Simon Raj to take it further. I thanks every student to take a good opportunity with the Royal Society of Tropical Hygiene Medicine to take, because they have, in this one of the slides which I have seen, they have shown that by 15th of April, they must get enrolled to get the scholarships for the postdoctoral fellowship. So I thanks to Royal Society also, who has collaborated with us for this fantastic event. And thanks everybody for coming over here and discuss this important issues in the field of research. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful thoughts. Indeed, this is not the end, but rather this is the end to new beginnings. In the words of John Maxwell, a pessimist complains about the wind, optimist tries to change it, and a leader adjusts the sail. The sails of this particular notion were adjusted by a person who is not only a great motivation to all of us, but a visionary and the person who gave us the belief to bring together this conference. He is none other than our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. P. Prakash. His ceaseless efforts to make this event is indescribable. He added a feather to the glory of our institution by making this occasion to bring an uproar in the field of antimicrobial resistance, drug discovery and development. And we are indeed thankful to him for his colossal contributions and enormous support. I humbly request Dr. P. Prakash, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, to now deliver the presidential address.
Good evening to every one of you. What a nice way to begin and nice way to end. It's often said in adage language of English, the taste of pudding lies in eating. And I don't find a single face here being fatigued of the 3 days deliberations that we had with a gracious smile on the face, still energetic, full of French beans. Whether microbes have become resistant or not, at least we have become resistant to most of the tropical diseases, at least in 3 days, when we have deliberated across on various issues, including drug discovery, drug delivery, and also its way of looking at the nuances of coming out with what they have said, repurposing it also. Sir Tom Bendel, Dr. Frankis, and the organizer of the committee, Dr. Samuel Raj, and the man beyond the curtain, Dr. Manish Bhalla, in organizing many things, made us to be plunged in this ocean of nucleosides, nucleotides, and also the way we need to bridge in not only editing new amino acids, whether it's tryptophan or lysine or ribosomal RNA or transfer RNA or messenger RNA. Ultimate goal was to gel with a protein that would help us not only in making us more nutritious, but also in helping us to find solutions and algorithms in combating the antimicrobial resistant microbes. And in case if they don't, we have to come out with what has been mentioned in the theme of the scheme or the symposium for all of us that has been discussed and deliberated over technical sessions to see how best we can come out with drug discovery and a novel drug to see that they don't infect us, but we would elope them with our resistance. I do know that we had speakers across the world. I don't want to take the names because my predecessor, my colleague, Mahi, have already mentioned it, but then I have all laurels to all of them, including the association which we have with Tropical Institute of Medicine and Hygiene, Dr. Adrien here, who has contributed in hoisting these 3 days deliberations as a platform for us to all culminate with some kind of resolutions, deliberations that come out with some kind of reforms in our approach, and anthropogenic interventions that we need to have for all future to come, whether it's a temperate climate or it's tropical climate. Diseases are the ones which have spread across the mankind, more in particular endemic zone, less in a niche, but then they are the ones which have been troubling all of us. I'm very happy to say such deliberations which have been deliberated earlier has made my country, India, at least now, to eradicate smallpox and polio. And I'm sure the deliberations that you had over leprosy, tuberculosis, dengue, chikungunya, malaria, or for that matter, even what has Dr. Tom Bendel has mentioned in the morning, that 8 drugs of his which have been handed over to Astex Pharmaceuticals that have now started marketing in the market to see that those patients who are striving to live long life would find a solution free from cancer too. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sure you'll all join hands with me to build a bridge over which all human beings would cross over against illiteracy. When I say illiteracy, illiteracy against not knowing what the drug is, what the disease is, against poverty that is affordable to purchasing the drug, and then the most important thing is its application part. Seeing that everybody is educated, whether you're a medical doctor, whether you're a scientist or a health worker or an academician working in a laboratory. That's what the team started with: equity, accessibility, and affordability. And I was really happy to also note that we had around 50 poster publications across the foyer in this particular beautiful building. And there were no less than 35 institutions which has participated in this poster presentation. Many of them have been the ones who have been working on the deadly diseases, and I could find institutions who have built a good school of thought to find remedies for diseases. I wish what we carried out in 2015 under the charismatic leadership of Dr. Samuel Raj, and what we have seen as a testimony today for again having this particular international symposium conference for deliberating on antimicrobial resistance would continue till we all get eradicated with some of the deadly diseases that are infecting not only tropical countries, but some of the temperate countries too. With these few words of mine, I thank every one of you for culminating this 3 days event into a document or a testament or a Bible for helping the mankind. Thanks to every one of you once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your worthy words. It's time for awards and rewards and to give recognition to person who actually deserves. It is commonly said, those who won are not that great, and those who could not are not that bad enough. So, may I call Professor V. Samuel Raj, Organizing Secretary of the Second International Conference, to announce the names of the best 3 posters and to their contributors. So, please.
Thank you very much. I know that the students, they have worked very hard. Students have come all the way from south, more than 3,000 kilometers. And you have worked very hard. You know the reward for the hard work? More work. So more work is the reward for the hard work. So for your hard work, to maintain that, you have to work very hard. Please keep it up and continue the hard work. Let us see. And who are the winners for this poster prize? And here I want to thank the Royal Society of Chemistry. The Royal Society of Chemistry, they came forward when they heard that the Royal Society of Tropical Medicine and Hygiene is the partner of SRM University, Delhi NCR. When they received the conference brochure, within few minutes I got the call from the Royal Society of Chemistry. in charge from Bangalore. And he said that, why you have not included us? And we also want to be part. So I said, what can you do? Of course, they have sponsored some amount. In addition to that, they wanted that one, we want to give the best poster prize. I said, yes, please do it. So the certificate, first, second, third prize, the certificate is from Royal Society of Chemistry, and also the voucher for 50 pounds they have promised. It is there. Now let us see how we can give it to our students. Can I see the hands of the students, those who have given the poster presentation? Just can you raise your hands, please? Thank you so much. I think so few students may have left. Okay, in front of you, let me just open it. I should not tear the names. Okay. Let me have the privilege of reading the names. Oh my God, there are 4 names. Royal Society has given 3 prizes, but we will see that one, how they are managing it. There is a consolation award, and also first, second, third prize. From our side, SRM University, Delhi NCR, just to differentiate the difference between the first prize, second prize, and third prize, there is a cash award. 3,000, 2,000, and 1,000 rupees. Plus, the memento is given. I want our team over here to give the memento and also the cash prize and 1 certificate for the, let me read. Should I read from top to bottom or bottom to top? Bottom, always bottom to top. Okay, let me read the bottom one. The consolation award, let me read from the consolation award because first, second, and third. The consolation award is going to Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, Madhupuri. Madhupuri, you see here? Can anybody can collect it afterwards? Anybody from JNU here? Jawaharlal Nehru University? So they can collect it afterwards. Okay, let us move to the third prize. The third prize goes to SRM University, Delhi NCR, Ms. Kusum Rani. I request our chief guest, Professor Sir Tom Blundell, to give the awards to the winners. So please go ahead. The second prize goes to Naipur, Punjab, Ganesh Yadagiri. Okay, the much expected first prize goes to it goes to Jawaharlal Nehru University again, Miss Smriti Tandon. Miss Smriti Tandon. Anybody is here from JNU Jawaharlal Nehru University? They can collect the poster prize. Okay, we will inform them. And for the first, second, third prize, there is a gift voucher. So that voucher is for 50 pounds, UK pounds. For that voucher, you have to purchase the book. That means you have to read it. Thank you.
On behalf of the institution, I once again heartily congratulate one and you all. Thank you, sir, for reiterating the importance of hard work. We do agree that there is no substitute to hard work, and we will continue to work hard and not just do well, but excel. We feel honored and privileged to have in our midst today, at this august occasion, our chief guest, Professor Sir Tom Blundell, from the University of Cambridge, United Kingdom. He is a British biochemist, structural biologist, and a science administrator. He was a member of the team led by the Nobel laureate Dorothy Hawkins that solved the first structure of a protein hormone, insulin, in the year 1969. Sir Tom has made contributions to the structural biology of polypeptide hormones, growth factors, receptor activation, and DNA double-strand break repair, important in cancer, tuberculosis, and familial disease. He has developed software for protein modeling and understanding the effects of mutation on protein function, leading to new approaches to structure-guided and fragment-based lead discovery. In the year 1999, he co-founded the oncology company Astex Therapeutics, which has moved 10 drugs into clinical trials. Sir Tom has played a seminal role in restructuring British Research Council and as the president of the United Kingdom Science Council in developing professionalism in the practice of science. It is my honor and privilege to now humbly request our chief guest, Professor Sir Tom, to deliver the chief guest address.
Well, thank you first for that very nice speech. I'm very honored. And thank you very much to the organizers, Sam Raj and Dr. Prakash, for everything that you've done to make this meeting really successful. I want to be, though, a little bit analytical and to go away with some thoughts about what we need to do in the future. So first, I thought I'd talk a little bit about research ecosystems, because research ecosystems are what you need for people like you to be involved in, not only to do basic research, but to do translational research. And so I think they're absolutely central, and I'm a little bit biased because I of course come from Oxford, which together with Cambridge and London are considered to be the golden triangle. And of course, Cambridge was one of the first research ecosystems. So what do we need in a research ecosystem? And the first thing we need is lots of people like you, very enthusiastic scientists at the basic science level, but also people who are willing to think about all aspects of science as they go up the career ladder. By the way, I don't like being called an administrator. The only time I've done administration, well, I've done administration pretty well all my life, but it's really to avoid other people taking a lot of time doing it. To do it as quickly as possible is my model. But we also need some other elements in the research ecosystem. So we need to have large companies, and we need to have small companies. If you look at where I work in Cambridge, we've had, of course, GlaxoSmithKline, Beecham, very close to us, a few miles down the road. We've had AstraZeneca, which was in Manchester, but moved onto our science park, well, onto the park around the hospital, where a lot of new developments are going. So we need to have large companies, but we also need to have startups and entrepreneurs, and they need to interact. I've written a lot recently about the idea of knowledge exchange. So knowledge just doesn't come from the academic to the industrialist to the product. It actually comes from the companies to the academia, as well as academia to companies. And I think everybody needs to understand that. It's a very important aspect. So if we're going to thrive, we need all of the components. So I think one of the challenges you have in India really is to get some of the large companies which have been really refocusing. Many of them have left the UK, like Pfizer, but you've lost AstraZeneca from Bangalore. I think that was very sad. That was a good emerging research ecosystem. And I was very sad to hear that the Japanese Daiichi Sankyo had closed down in this area, because you had the emerging aspects of all the parts of a research ecosystem. So we want to create that, and I think you've, in India, need to think about how to develop that. I just was commenting to some of my colleagues earlier on that I have every confidence that Indians can do this. And I was telling, I think, a lot of people that in my laboratory of the 1980s, then we looked to see who are the most successful entrepreneurs. And first was really Haran Jyoti, who was my student of the 80s, but went to work in Glaxo, and then we co-founded Aztecs. But to my surprise, out of the 40 people who gathered together, the other next two successful were also people who started off in the Punjab and had traveled to the UK. So the next one was Just Singh, and he did something that I advised him wouldn't work, and you shouldn't ever do that, but it did work, and that is to make covalent inhibitors, and Just sold his company for 701 million. And then there was D. Atwell Singh, who was the person least successful amongst those entrepreneurs. I think his company was only 40 million pounds or dollars, I can't remember. But what is clear is that you have in India people who in the right environment can be innovative. And I think those of you in the universities have to make sure that early career people can set up companies, you can encourage exchange. There's very much a tradition in many universities, and it's been the case in the UK to some extent, that we can't do industrial things while we're supposed to be academics. We need that interchange of ideas, that collaboration, that contribution to forming companies if we're going to do the difficult things that we have in antimicrobial resistance. So here we have a really double challenge in getting funding, and I'm still not clear in my own mind how we can persuade large companies to do more than just collaborate, but to invest in antimicrobials, and also to think about the problem of antimicrobial resistance. I think the best example is maybe Glaxo with their set of compounds. We've all been using those in our lab. We had people come out of the company and working with us. I think if we could persuade other companies to make their libraries available, we could then do more effective screening. And I think this problem of screening is going to be a challenge, but also I think it's not just a question of repurposing molecules of the kind that Glaxo made available and other companies have, but also thinking much more about the mechanisms. And as I said in my talk, we need to think about the mechanisms of the formation of resistance when we're making new antimicrobials, and we need to think about what is happening in detail if we're going to redesign so not just repurpose, but redesign to some extent the compounds. And as I pointed out in my talk, there are many mechanisms for antimicrobial resistance, and I think we need to understand them as we go into drug discovery. But it's clear that academics are going to have to play a major role, both in the screening to get repurposing of drugs, and of course making sure that they interact with the companies. I think there are still some problems going to be with IPR, but the best way of doing that is to talk to other people. I think the meeting for me has really made me aware of all the areas of antimicrobial resistance that I was not aware of. I've rather focused on mycobacteria. I'm now being forced to confront Pseudomonas aeruginosa, which is a fairly popular target. But there's clearly a huge amount of expertise here, and I've been very, very impressed by what you're doing. And what I learned, for example, from Simon Croft, for example, he actually just lives down the road from us in Cambridge. And I think the sort of areas that he works in, which are much more relevant to the general problems, need to be very much integrated with the sort of more reductionist approach of design against particular targets. And so I think you've heard all sorts of sides, and I've learned that there's some very good people down the road that I'm going to get to come and talk in our department and maybe in the company as well. So lots of things. There are many challenges, not only the funding, but there are also the social and other aspects. There's overprescription and all sorts of aspects there. I'm still convinced that there are a lot of very useful parallels between cancer and the antimicrobials, and in particular, the emergence of resistance and how we deal with that. I think it's worthwhile keeping in touch with the people working on cancer. I've got a program working with EBI, that's the European Bioinformatics Institute, which is near Cambridge, and we're analyzing all of the mutations that occur in cosmic. And these mutations occur largely through resistance in various patients and, of course, lead to very aggressive cancers. So there's lots to do. I think you have most of the components here. You have the enthusiasm, you have the skills, and so I'm very optimistic that things will happen, and I'm very pleased that the Royal Society of Chemistry are thinking about doing something on repurposing, and I'm looking forward to perhaps talking to them about that as things go on. I think I've exceeded my time, but these are my thoughts. I think we shouldn't underestimate the challenges, but we've got to keep going and keep thinking about it and keep all of those aspects of the research ecosystem in play. So thank you very much once again, Prakash and Sam, for everything you've done, and especially for allowing me to come and join you.
Thank you, sir, for showering us with pearls of wisdom and knowledge. We are truly humbled by your presence. Thank you once again, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are so privileged and honored to have Professor Francois Franceschi as our guest of honor. Professor Franceschi, who earned PhD in chemistry, was a project leader on antimicrobial memory recovery and exploratory program at Global Antibiotic R&D Partnership. World Health Organization, Geneva, has been working in the field of antimicrobial resistance and experience for an uninterrupted 25 years. From 2002 to 2012, he held various directorships in antibiotic research and development at RibX Pharmaceuticals at New Haven, Connecticut, USA. From 1990 until 2002, Francois was principal investigator at the Max Planck Institute of Molecular Genetics in Berlin, Germany. May I request Professor Franceschi to address the audience.
First of all, thanks a lot to Sam and to Dr. Prakash for having organized this meeting. I was also going to talk a little bit about the research ecosystem, but since that topic has now been discussed, I'm going to go more into a personal journey, I guess, and talking especially to the students. What I want to tell you is essentially, this is a wonderful environment that has been created here. And you have just to try to get the most out of it, because I have to say, when I came out here on Sunday night, I was like, oh, where I am, this is the middle of nowhere. And then on the next morning, just talking to the people and looking at all what you guys have achieved, this is like an oasis, like a really good place to learn and do science. And talking from my own personal experience, I originally come from Venezuela. Once I finished my university there, I worked a couple of years in the university. I asked my boss at that time, do you know anybody around the world where I can do my PhD? And she said, I have a friend in Germany, maybe he can just take you. And he said, well, he can come. I will just, support and let him do the PhD in my lab. Everybody in Venezuela told me, you're crazy, are you going to Germany? You don't speak a word of German. And what I'm trying to say is you have just to trust yourself. You are the one who set the limits, and you have to take risks. And if the opportunity presents, don't think twice, just go for it. After finishing my PhD in Germany, my supervisor then told me, like, whoa, why you don't stay a couple of years longer and do a couple more things? I said, okay, sure. At that time, coming back to Venezuela was a bit difficult. And after a couple of years, essentially they offered me, like, oh, do you want to take charge of this lab that is going to collaborate with Ada Jonat, who is doing crystals of ribosomes, and try to solve the structure? Again, a lot of people told me, you are crazy. People have been working on that for many years. Why are you going to waste your career working on something that doesn't work? But sometimes you just have to believe and take the risk. And it took us about 10 years of hard work until finally the structures came out. And Ada had been working on that a lot of time before. And again, it paid off to take the risk. So at the end, it was a great thing that helps also with antibiotic research, because the ribosome is one of the main targets. And as I said, I then went to work in industry, worked for 10 years in industry. And after that, I decided, okay, I need to do something for the public good. I ended up working for the US government, to the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, trying to help develop new antibiotics. And last year, I decided to join GARPI, which is a global partnership for antibiotic development in Geneva as a nonprofit. So I closed the circle from academia to industry to government to nonprofit. So, and the journey has been really interesting. And again, what I want to say with this is just follow your dreams, take the opportunities, and you are the one who sets the limits. And just to finish, just also remember that doing research is 90% pain and 10% happiness. So you just live for this 10% when things work, and don't get, depressed. And just to make a comment about the conference, I totally echo the words from Tom saying that this has been a wonderful place to open our horizons, because a lot of times you are working on a microcosmos where you only talk to the people you are working with, or the people who is looking at the problem the same way you are looking at it. But here, this has been a great opportunity to hear everything from TB to silkworms to Lyme disease to non-mycobacterial tuberculosis, non-NTB. So it has been a great experience to learn other points of view, other ways of thinking, and I really have to, thank the organizer for having put this together. And I hope everybody, as you also appreciate the work they have done. And I also want to thank all of you who has been involved in the organizing and the hospitality you have provided. That has been absolutely great, because every time you say, oh, I need this, just like 2 seconds later, it appears magically. You know who we are talking about. And again, this has been my first time in India, and I have to say I'm really, really impressed. by all what I have seen and the quality of research being done and the quality of people working in hospital I have visited and how dedicated and also well equipped in a lot of cases the people are. So thanks again to all of you for have given me the experience to be here and just again follow your dreams and just use this opportunity you are given here to have an environment that allows you to learn and thrive and be good scientist or whatever you want to be in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your experience, your wise words of wisdom. We hope to see you again and again and again. We are humbled by your presence and delighted indeed. Thank you once again, sir. A leader is someone who creates an event, team members, and essentially brings life to it. This conference would not have taken shape without a hard-working leader and his dedicated team. I will be failing in my duty if I forget to mention at this juncture the backbone of this function, the dedication, the enthusiasm of our convener and guide, Professor V. Samuel Raj, Dean of Academic Affairs, the organizing secretary that has made this event a striking triumph. His dedications are commendable, and his hard work has made landmark in the history of SRM University a huge success. I now humbly request our own microbiologist, Professor V. Samuel Raj, Dean of Academic Affairs, Organizing Secretary, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you please relax and sit very comfortably, but don't break the chair. Okay, now we are at the end of the session. Just another 5 minutes, our conference will be over. So I want to say my sincere thanks to everybody. Let me take the paper. I don't know what is this. Sorry, yeah, we made the mistake. I think, Dr. Balla, our registrar, has made my job very easy. The point was that, both of us prepared two address, welcome address and vote of thanks. So we both of us had two papers. So he took only one paper, and it was vote of thanks. So that's the reason that I took both the papers, so I should not forget both welcome and vote of thanks. So please relax with me. People are saying that today, sir, you are very relaxed, but still I need to drink a lot of water before coming here. Okay, thank you very much for your cooperation, support. Without your support, I know that it is not possible. That's the reason, first of all, I want to welcome all of you again. And I want to say thanks to you again. This concept of organizing the second international conference started when we visited United Kingdom. Last year, July, our Honorable Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, and also our Deputy Director, International Relations, and myself. We went as a team and met Sir Tom Blundell, Professor Simon Kraft, and also Professor Andrew Briggs at University of Oxford, and some more places. So when we met all these people, then we discussed about organizing this second international conference, because the first one we had at India Habitat Center, New Delhi in 2015. And we asked the date and time from these stalwarts. And the date, everything was discussed over there. The idea was conceived, and as per their convenience, we fixed this date. Then again, there was 1 or 2 dates we had to prepone it. We said yes. And we have taken the approval of our Honorable Chancellor. Without any word, he said, please, as per your convenience, and Professor Tom Blundell and Professor Simon Kraft's convenience, you can change the date. I have no objection. And everything is recorded in the note. So I want to say my sincere thanks to Professor Simon Kraft and Professor Tom Blundell. Thank you so much. Also, I want to convey my sincere thanks to, the list of speakers. It's too difficult to get them at one platform. That's the reason that we have to adjust the dates. Sometimes we have to adjust the sessions also. There are some adjustments we need to do that. The simple reason was that one, we wanted to bring everyone into one platform. And for that, I want to convey my very sincere thanks to all the speakers. Everyone accommodated. Even Professor Ada Yonath, the Nobel laureate, when we have approached her, she sent a reply saying that, I am very happy to accept your invitation. And she put very small conditions, which was very easy to take care of it. And after coming here, she said that when she was not feeling well, but still she made it to come over here so that we are not disappointed. My sincere thanks goes to Professor Ada Yonath, who has made it possible to come over here. Not only Professor Ada Yonath, the list of speakers, if I start reading everything, it goes on and on and on. Murphy made my job easily. She has read the list of speakers. Thank you so much. And the stalwarts like Professor G.P. Talwar, Padma Bhushan, G.P. Talwar, it's very difficult to get him. Can you imagine that he's 93 plus? Padma Bhushan G.P. Talwar is 93 plus, but still he's very active. Let us pray that God give him more time so that he will be very active. He's a very good immunologist, and he's the pride of our nation. My sincere thanks goes to Professor G.P. Talwar. He made it possible. And also I want to thank the Nature India Chief Editor, Subra Priyadarshini. Even though something very sad thing had happened in her life recently, but still she made it possible to come over here. And the team was, we cannot imagine. What a team, what a privilege that we have got to see the panel discussion on AMR. Amazing. All the people in that panel, I want to thank them. And I want to once again thank all the speakers. They come all the way from United States, Canada, UK, Switzerland, France, Germany, Singapore, Japan, and also from India. Egypt, thank you. If I missed any names also, please forgive me. So, now, the media, this is the first time. There are so many media came here to cover the news. Already we have seen the news item which has come in the media. So I want to convey my sincere thanks to the media personnel who had come over here. And I want to convey my sincere thanks to our Honorable Chancellor who has funded this project. I want to say that the government has not supported so much for unknown reason. But just because we have not received the support, the funding, we are not going to stop it. The work will continue. Because there is a dedicated team is available. And also I want to convey my sincere thanks to the sponsors and supporters for their financial support. Above all, I want to convey my sincere thanks to the team. Please give a round of applause to the team. Please. If they go to bed, they cannot get up for 2 days. That much tired they are. They are very tired. They have not slept many days. Please go home safely and take rest. After you get up, you can play holy. So I want to convey my sincere thanks to them. They have done an excellent job. Not only the department, I'm not saying that only this particular department, no. It's a whole university. The whole university, all the department people. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I'm just looking at my students. They were very much interested. They volunteered. Sir, what can we do? What can we do? We are ready to do this one. Can we do this? We are ready to decorate. We are do these arrangements. We will go and pick up the speakers. We will go and leave them back. We will do this. We will do that. And after sleep has gone, when we have seen that the students are so enthusiastic, amazing. We are privileged to have such a students with us. Thank you, students. Thank you. Thank you. And also I want to convey my thanks to the students who have come all the way from other parts of India. You have traveled by flight, train, bus, car, auto. I'm glad not by walking, because this is isolated place. Otherwise, even you have walked. Thank you so much. And I want to convey my thanks to the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Ministry of External Affairs, because for organizing such international conference, it is mandatory that we have to get the approval from the Ministry of Home Affairs and External Affairs. They took some time, but they've given us a very clear approval. Without any questions, anything, what we have asked, they have given an approval. I want to convey my sincere thanks to both the ministries, Home Affairs and Minister of External Affairs. Now, I want to convey my special thanks to the World Health Organization Deputy General Secretary, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan. Though she could not come, she had conveyed her best wishes, as well as she had sent her talk as a video. It was played in the conference. And also she has conveyed the message, please send us the report, what has been discussed, and what are the recommendations, and what are the key message which came out of this conference. That report will be prepared. It will be sent to the World Health Organization. Also, I have requested Professor Simon Kraft, when he goes to Geneva, to convey our regards personally to Dr. Soumya Swaminathan. He has kindly agreed for it. And we will send the report, not only to the World Health Organization, also we will send it to our own government, Indian government, Ministry of Health. So we will make sure that whatever has been discussed, it is taken forward. So let me conclude with one or two line of message again. We have learned a lot from these stalwarts, how we are going to tackle the antimicrobial resistance. It's very important. As I said in the inauguration, it is not the prediction, it is not something that is going to happen, but it's happening always. There is a story, I will make it less than 1 minute. There are two friends, they were in a jungle. All of a sudden, they have seen a jungle animal approaching them fast. One guy, what he did, immediately he tied his shoes. The other person asked, "Can you escape from this animal with his old shoe? You are making it very tight." He said that, "What I need is, I have to be one step ahead of you." That's it. Just if I am one step ahead of you, the animal will be busy with you, I am safe. So the moral of the story is, we must be one step ahead of the pathogen, the AMR pathogen, we are safe. Did you get the message? So we need to work very hard on it. We must be one step ahead of it. We must work very hard in terms of either drug discovery, either new drug or repurposing whatever we have heard over here, or in terms of new diagnostic method, new intervention, or the new vaccine as suggested by Professor G.P. Talwar. We need to be just one step ahead. And one drawback with this conference is there was no representation from the pharma industry or the vaccine or the diagnostic. But you know that I did that purposely. You know, why did I keep away? Let us discuss it first. Then we will give the assignments to all of you. Once you go back, please contact whomever you know that. If you are interested in drug discovery, contact the pharma industry. If you are interested in vaccine, please contact the vaccine industry. If you are interested in diagnostics, please contact the diagnostic industry. Then start the work. Don't stop the work. Let us collaborate with each other. Let us work together. Let us stay together. Let us stay just one step ahead of this pathogen. We will get success. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful message. From the bottom of heart, once again, we congratulate you, honor you, revere you, and respect you for being with us these 3 days, and we sincerely thank one and all. Thank you so much. May I request all of you to stand for National Anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता।